the first one, parallel? Yes. Yes. Second one, perpendicular? Yes. This one, perpendicular? Yes. Oh. These parallel? Yeah. These perpendicular? Yes. And then perpendicular? Yes. That one's wrong. That one's wrong. That's perpendicular? No, that should be parallel, but that's okay. Okay, perpendicular? Perpendicular? Yes. Parallel? Yes. Perpendicular? Yes. Did anyone get tricked by that one? No. So you should be perpendicular, and we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Parallel for these last ones? Yes. Yes.
I'm going to do it a quick one.
Parallel? Yes. Perpendicular? Yes. And parallel? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to give out new notes. I know we talked about our rules, like we found them. We're just going to put that on notes that are actually, so we have it in like an actual form or whatever. And do some other examples with those.
What? For sure.
Yeah.
It's like a commercial building. Probably that same I don't know if you saw in the news, but the it's pretty cool. I just wanted to love shows.
I think I can with it. So the definition of parallel lines, the definition is going to be the graphic definition, and then algebraic, and we'll talk about the rule we found. So the parallel definition is whatever, two lines that never intersect. Handwriting is not good today.
I can't spell today.
It's all right.
We know.
I know, that's bad. At a stoplight. Lines. Intercept is in math, like on the X and Y axis, where in life it's like intercept something from someone, like passes, football, basketball.
But they basically mean the same.
Intercept is like steal, but not thief-wise. I don't know. Anyway, algebraically, we know two lines are parallel if they have the same slope.
Oh, that's yours now.
And the y-intercepts are different.
They would have to be.
There is a symbol to signify parallel lines. So if you didn't want to write out the word parallel, you could write the symbol. It is two equal signs that are vertical. They're supposed to be even, but mine aren't. So when you get to geometry and they talk about parallel lines, they're going to use that symbol.
What I said, what did I just, they're never gonna touch.
No. They would like, no. Just no.
They're never gonna.
For perpendicular lines, the definition for that is intersecting lines that cross at a 90-degree angle. Well, I ran out of space. Angle is what that should say. Algebraically, we know two lines are perpendicular if they have negative reciprocal slopes.
And different y-intercepts.
Y-intercepts don't matter. You can put and y-intercepts don't matter, but
I definitely spelled that wrong.
Reciprocal?
And slopes.
slopes.
It's okay.
This chapter right here is for the definition of negative reciprocals. They are fractions that are flipped and the negative or the signs are switched.
Negative 130.
Y-intercepts don't matter.
Please call y-intercept.
Wait, how do you actually spell
For negative reciprocals, they are fractions that are flipped and the signs are switched.
And,
Yeah, it's an and symbol. I can't do the actual and symbol. The signs are what?
wait, can 0 be negative? No, 0 can't be negative.
Zero is a neutral number.
Nothing can't be negative. Nothing, 0.
Exactly. So what's not being negative? What's being We're going to do the examples together. So what would be the negative reciprocal of 3/4? You guys can say it out loud. Negative 4 over 3. Negative 4 over 3. The reciprocal of 2. I'm sorry, the negative reciprocal of 2. Negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. Remember, all whole numbers are really over 1. So if you flip that, it becomes 1/2. And then make it negative. The negative reciprocal of negative 7/8.
Negative 8 over 7?
Positive 8/7. Because it's already negative, we're going to make the other one positive.
So only one side has to be negative.
Correct. Only one should be negative.
-2. Yes, no.
For 1, what is the negative reciprocal?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. I got no clue about this. And then the negative reciprocal of 0. Undefined. It's undefined. So the reason this is, if you were to take 0, put it over 1, and then take it and flip it and make it negative, doesn't matter if it's negative, if it's positive, anything over 0 is still undefined. So when you get a 0 over a number and a number over 0, know that those are going to be negative reciprocals and perpendicular.
0 is
0 is y equals or horizontal.
and the side is
Vertical and x equals, yeah. Alright. This next part, we are given line segments, and we're given the endpoints of these line segments. We need to determine, are these two line segments parallel, perpendicular, or neither? In order to see that, we need to find the slope. I know you guys don't really have space over here, but somewhere where you have space, write your slope formula so you have it to refer back to.
yeah, I was thinking about it. Okay.
Wait, why do I sound like numbers and lines?
Because it printed off differently. It's just the where you would put your answer. It's fine though. And then we're going to do this process twice. So for number 1, we're going to do AB first. If you need to label them, which ones they are, you can do that. If you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that. So this one would be 6 minus 3 all over 2 minus a negative 2. What would this slope be? You guys can say that loud.
3 over 4.
3 over 4. Then we're going to do the same thing for CD. That would be 3 minus 0 over 3 minus a negative 1. So that would also be 3 over 4. So these two line segments would be parallel.
What's the symbol for?
I just realized I didn't do that. It's upside down T. So if you didn't want to write out perpendicular, you can draw the upside down T.
Can you do that on the test?
Yes.
Well, how do you put an upside down T on the test?
How do you do
You would have to, if it's a show your work, you'd have to draw it in. Or you could type in a capital T and rotate it. If you want.
How do you rotate it?
You can like the thing with the 4 squares, if you click on it, you can rotate things.
You also just take out parallel.
You could also just do that, yeah.
What does the T mean?
Perpendicular. Okay. We're gonna do 2 on the bottom half of this, or the other 4. Take 1 more from this, and we'll do it together on These four.
2.
I heard 4 first, so we'll do 4.
Are you gonna have answers? Well, the answers go here.
Whatever.
So for number 4, we're doing the same thing. Find the slope of AB. So that would give us 4 minus 3 over -1 minus 2. What would that slope be? Positive 1 over -3.
Okay.
3/8.
So it'd be -1/3. And then find your other slope for CD. So 6 minus 3 over -4 minus a -5. What would that slope be?
3 over
3 over 1.
Of 1, or just 3. Always simplify.
It's
So that's
T.
It's T. It's T.
It's perpendicular.
T.
Correct.
T.
But you're also on to just write
Correct. You can do the symbol, you can write out the word, you can write PERP dot, you can write PAR dot.
So if
You can write both, I don't care.
if fractions are the same, is it undefined?
Your answers can be parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So for your neither cases, you can have 2 completely different fractions or numbers. So if I had like 3 and 5, those aren't the same, they're not perpendicular, those would be neither. If I had 1/5 and 1/2, those aren't the same, those aren't negative reciprocals, those would be neither. However, some other neither cases are 1/2 and -1/2. The numbers are the same, one's positive, one's negative, but they're not parallel because they're not exactly the same, and one isn't flipped, so they can't be perpendicular either. Or the other way, if I had -3 and +3, I have the same number, but they're not exactly the same, so they can't be parallel.
I'm not following.
Are these the same? No. So they can't be parallel. Is one flipped? So they can't be parallel, perpendicular. So these would be neither.
Not just put it in before.
I'm just naming other neither cases. Alright, so we're going to do number 5 and then number 7. And then I'll let you guys try the rest of those.
I want that.
Alright, so for number 5, find the slope of AB. 7 minus -2 over 0 minus 0. Here we get 9 over 0. So my back page and your front page are the same for this one. Just don't flip pages. Your 5 is on the front. CD, we have -5 minus a -5 over 6 minus 3. Or 0 over 3.
Also, minus -1 over 0 minus 0. C is -5 minus 0 over 6 minus 0.
Number 4.
So for this one, what is 9 over 0? Undefined. So you would need to know that anything over 0 is undefined. What is 0 over 3? 0. And you would need to know that.
If you solve the first part and you got 9, 0,
Say that one more time. The last part. We have to do what?
Not necessarily. You could have had undefined and undefined, or you could have 0 and 0.
It's like 9.
Okay. So these would be what? Parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Perpendicular. Undefined and 0 lines are always perpendicular. Wait.
Undefined is 0.
Oh, and they continue to go, right? Because they have arrows, so they would have to intersect this.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I mean, I didn't say that.
Okay. Also, I know we talked about this when we were finding slope, but if you are looking at this and you see that your x's are the same, that means your x's are going to cancel and you're going to have an undefined slope. If you are looking at this and you see that your y's are the same, that means your y's are going to cancel and you're going to have a 0 slope. So when we do number 7, and we did -4 minus 1 over 3 minus 3, and then CD is 5 minus 1 over -4 minus -4. Yes, 7 is on the next page, sorry. I forgot mine was different. Your y's are the same in both. Keep that in mind. What would be our two slopes? They would be parallel. What are your slopes? I'm sorry, yes, they are both undefined slopes. So they're both parallel. I think I said your y's were the same, but I meant x's. That's why I confused myself. Parallel.
Oh, wait. Oh, never mind.
So if you just left it at 5 over 0 and 4 over 0, and then maybe thought neither, don't do that. Know that it's over 0, so it's undefined. The other one's over 0, so it's undefined, so they'd be parallel.
Wait, wasn't question 5 perpendicular?
Yes.
What's the difference?
For both, you tell me. Wait, you tell me. What is the difference?
Oh, what's the 0 then?
One has a 0 and an undefined. The other one are both undefined. This would also be the case if these were both 0. But if you have one of each, they're perpendicular. The only time it would be a neither for those is if you have like undefined and a number. Like undefined and 5. Those aren't the same, they're not reciprocals. Or 0 and 10. Like those aren't the same or negative reciprocals. So those shouldn't be neither cases unless that happens. Correct. I'm going to give you 10 to 15 minutes to go back and do numbers 2, 3, 6, and 8 if you haven't already. And then we will come back together and go over them.